Welcome back to the Super Not Funny Show reviews. And today I'm reviewing The Wonder Years Season 2, Episode 6. It's entitled Bill's New Friend. It's coming to you from ABC and streaming on Hulu. So, what did I think about it? And should you be watching? Before we get into the review, get down there and hit like on this video. Somehow I feel like the song Ebony and Ivory should have been playing in some parts of this episode. Something that, if you have been watching the show, you would never have believed, but something, it happens. And that's that Bill gets a new friend. Not just any new friend, but a white friend. That's, it's Alabama in the late 60s. Not a whole lot of mixing of that. Even that Dean has his his one white friend and everything like that. But Bill, his love of music gets him to become friends with Dean's his music teacher, because his music teacher gave him a better grade than Bill thought. Given his Dean's less than stellar musical ability, and that leads them to bond over their love of jazz music, and it also leads them to, I guess, to be friends enough to get invited, Bill and Lillian, to get invited to a dinner party, and that leads to all sorts of, I guess we can say, embarrassing things, if you will, later on in the episode. At the same time, Dean, as he wants to go see Easy Rider, which of course is an R-rated movie, and he's not allowed to go see it, but unless with an adult. Hey, conveniently, there's an adult in the house. That's right, because older brother, he's back in the house. We hadn't seen. Remember, he went back to Vietnam for another tour, but Bruce is back, and I guess he's back, for. He's back for good. And in fact, he's living down in the basement in the house. And so, Dean wants to get him to take him to see that. But you also have Kim that wants to go to a college party. So the three kids are out they're out running the streets while the parents are out at a dinner party. I really like the whole bit with Dean and his brother Bruce and Kim, and they end up going to this college, and he really wants to go see this movie, and it gives us time to see Kim and Bruce kind of interact more than we've ever really seen them. And Dean, he also gets to go kind of be cooler at the end too, because while he goes and thinks he's going to go walk to the theater, and because Bruce is talking to his friends and that he hadn't seen in a while, and sort of realizing, like, man, what am I doing besides just collecting VA benefits? What am I going to do with myself? But while that's happening, while Kim's getting blocked from going into this party, Dean gets to go and have a bit of a college experience when he runs into a young lady who's working in the science lab, and he kind of geeks out over the chemistry lab and everything like that. And it turned into like a wholesome little thing, because Dean's still young and kind of dumb, but he can pick up on the fact that the young lady that he ran into, that she maybe doesn't feel like she fits in at college. And so oddly enough, he ends up going into the party that Kim couldn't get into, and just like kind of having a good time, but also having a good time in the chemistry lab, and getting to know this young lady, and maybe helping her have a new perspective on how to have a college life, which is funny again for a middle schooler, but also lets Bruce figure out that maybe he does want to go to college, and that Kim, she's definitely ready to go to college soon, and that maybe they'll be in college at the same time. It was a nice little thing, a nice little kind of aside. But really, the meat of this episode is about Bill and Lillian going to this dinner party, and kind of wanting to have a good impression and everything. And Bill, he's just such a jazz nerd that he wants to, and also he's written for Marvin Gaye, so he's got these great stories to tell. He leaves Lillian kind of with these ladies who she doesn't know, and it's just kind of uncomfortable for her. But then she sees some things that make her suspicious, like, oh, this must be a swingers party or something like that, and so she kind of makes a scene and accuses them of setting them up for that, and it embarrasses Bill. And Bill is friends with this guy. This is an actual for real friend, and I like that later on when they're kind of driving away, and Lillian's like, because they make it seem like no, this is just a dinner party, and we really weren't going to do that, and they kind of go, and she's like, I feel bad because you don't really have that many friends after the band and everything, and I just didn't want to get in the way of that. And they, Bill, he's disappointed. We don't often see that. Well, Bill is kind of sort of mad at Lillian, but they end up having to go back because she left her purse, and then it turns out it actually was a swingers party, which I thought it was quite hilarious. And shout out to Bradley Whitford, who's he's been putting in great work for a long time in Hollywood, but just a great little guest star. I really enjoyed his character, and that he and Billy, they are friends over jazz and everything. And yes, it was weird, but no, there was actually a bit where he's like, "Oh, you wanted us to leave because you only invite us because you don't want any black people involved with your little thing," and then like a black couple walks by. Just a good little fun joke bit. But that they can bond. Yeah, they got their little sex thing going on, but that's not really what the part of the relationship that Bill's going to be involved in. But they're going to be friends because of music and everything. I like that. As an older person, it is hard to get new friends. So seeing that the dad ended up doing that, and as he said, ended up co-writing a couple of Houdini hits that maybe but probably aren't related to that. That is pretty funny. So just overall, I liked it. I'm glad the show came back. A 2-week hiatus, that's not good, because this, to be honest, show's probably not going to go beyond this season, but I think this was a really good episode, and it was quite funny, very well presented, and I like the guest star. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode. What did you guys think about it? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section and leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, do me a favor, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps with the channel so that it can grow, that more people can see these videos. All right, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. We're going to talk about the 7th episode of The Wonder Years, Season 2. Till then, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, and I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.